cuirass to Brunswick. It's really it. Here you go. Take it. Die! Quick! Whoa! Here it is. Another piece of Brunswick's armor. Quick! Quick! Whoa! Go!
our place. Piss off, or I'll pull you off that horse and break your limbs.
You're right. I'm going. Don't worry.
That's what I thought. Get the hell out! What are you doing? You're a dead man!
Show what you... Enough! Leave me be! We're not through yet!
Brunswick's helm. I have it.
Here you go. Take it. Aye, aye. You silly doggy.
Greetings, my friend.
I have the book for you.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had an apprentice this handy in a long time. Zinnik has nothing on you.
I had a peek inside. The pictures are nice, but what do you want to learn from them?
You'll find out soon enough. Show me that miraculous thing. This really is something. But why is it all covered in shit, for fuck's sake?
Let's just say the scribe didn't have it. It actually wasn't even in the castle. Under it, really.
Oh, Refining saltpeter. Boil wine and alum. Grind. Ah, of course, it makes sense. I'll study the rest on the way. Well, the last chapter of our story of knowledge awaits us. The grand finale.
So what now? Do you have another job for me?
Charcoal. Sulfur from Hermes Trismegistos. Saltpeter from the carcass pit. As long as Black Bertolt didn't make any mistakes in his calculations, we have everything.
What Bertold? Oh, God damn it, Crazer, what's going on here? I'm tired of flying back and forth like a rag on a stick. I won't be led around by the nose. Will you finally tell me what's going on?
Believe it or not, all this secrecy had its reasons. But now I don't have to hide anything from you. It's time. We'll meet with the others in the lair, and there you'll learn the whole truth. You go ahead. I'm going to get a few things ready here.
All right, then. I hope you keep your word this time. Well,
Of course.
what about one more
I don't have anything better to... Not so fast.
I do.
Say your prayer.
Give it all you've got.
For glory!
All right, so
Thanks for the fight.
you're gonna shove your here.
So, I went to see my brother
And?
to talk about the inheritance.
But your father's still alive, isn't he?
Aye, but he drools all over himself, and he gets this feeling that his time's
Behaving like a
nearly
child. Does he get it often?
all the time. He's always threatening to leave everything to the church if I don't go and see.
This one is sharpened already. What'll happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Crazel, please. For once, just once, Tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, hopefully I'll finally find out what the point of all this was.
Or not. Until you try another dose of niter.
I wouldn't do that to him. Not today. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teachings. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you've done. We could never have finished the job without you. We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone to rely on. So, it's time we started being honest with you, so you can finally learn the whole truth.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun part.
One more word, Zinek, and you'll get one on the nose.
Calm down, friend. I'm just kidding. Tell him then, Bonnie.
This whole time, you've been collecting ingredients and clues for us. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than it actually was.
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So today we're finally close to our great success. With the help of Hermes Trismegistos and his successors, we'll finally complete the dream of all alchemists. Our magnum opus.
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. A great work of alchemy. You're trying to make the Philosopher's Stone.
I see you've learned something after all. But no, the Philosopher's Stone isn't our goal.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we're making here?
Some kind of weapon?
Well, Henry's not too far from the truth after all, don't you think? Actually, he's pretty spot on. Although weapons were our last order of business. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in the trade. Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything living and dead. And I had a lot of questions about everything. And my mother, God rest her soul, decided it'd be best for me to go to study in Prague. As soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed my bags and left.
You must have had a real good mother for her to support you like that.
I'd say she didn't have much of a choice. My father was always busy, so she was the one who had to listen to all my questions. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, and my thirst for knowledge kept growing. But in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering and hypocritical nonsense for me to realize I wouldn't learn anything proper there. Most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
And what about your thirst for knowledge?
I realized I didn't need the university for things that are truly important. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. And, of course, it's not taught at any university.
You mean alchemy?
Exactly. The art of combination and dissolution. The key to understanding the very nature of the world. There's only one queen of science. Alchemy. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine and started a new life.
New life? What do you mean?
I returned to the miller's trade. My father was old, and my mother had passed away. From then on, alchemy became my true passion. I brought a few important books from Prague. I started with the most difficult thing. I tried to create gold.
That was pretty daring of you.
As you might expect, it didn't work. But after a few tries, I managed to create something entirely different. Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I had a candle burning next to me. A gust of wind scattered the mixture, and all of a sudden, bang! I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd unwittingly created a miracle. Explosive black powder.
So I was right. You're making weapons.
No, it's about much more than that. We're all in on it now.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own, but Bonnie and Zinnik did a few little jobs for me.
So he initiated us.
But we just still didn't know how to do it right and not blow ourselves up in the process.
And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter and sulfur.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes Trismegistos was our shopping list and price list for material from Gutenberg.
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few of my former fellow students and brought it up with them. And we found out that before us, some monk had already made the discovery.
Some fella called Black Bertold. And that he even started writing a book called
Feuerwerkbuch.
We can believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at Trotsky.
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make miracles happen. All it takes is a spark, and a storm of fire will sweep away the old world order. It will wipe out stupidity and ignorance, once and for all.
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey to satisfy our hunger for knowledge. A feast of smoke and fire. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients for his last great experiment. But now, thanks to you, we do. We can finally finish Bertold's work and finish his book. We'll see with our own eyes what a barrel of black powder can do. I hope you're as excited as I am.
I've heard enough. Now I want to see that with my own eyes.
Let's do it then. Bonnie, is everything ready?
Indeed it is. We can get started. Long live the beautiful new world.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
As long as you listen to me and keep the precautions right, you won't fuck it up.
White ash.
You really led me on about the gunpowder magazine, didn't you? A golem made of dough, souls inside saltpeter, the secrets of light and shadow. That was all just empty talk, wasn't it?
Not exactly. So I studied but they worked brilliantly as a but
So for the last time, Crazel.
I'll do what I promised. And I'm going to gather together.
Uh-huh. And what about me?
That's up to you, Henry. You're a free man. Lord Samin has no hold over you, and never did. You know, The inevitability of God's plan takes no interest in people like you and me. We'll always be little people, beneath it all.
That sounds somehow hopeful in a peculiar way, I'd say. Now I'm even happier about the great thing we've accomplished here.
The ideal conclusion, I'd say. Maybe it's time to carry sacks at a different mill. But if you're still interested in learning a bit more, drawing from the well of alchemical knowledge...
I know where to find you.
Indeed.